The 147th running of the Travers Stakes, as you could hear in those race calls, goosebumps. I was privileged to be at the Travers twice, a dead heat victory between Golden Ticket and Alpha, and the final defeats of American Pharaoh, the Triple Crown winner's career. $1.25 million in the purse, but much more than that on the line. Post time 5:44 Eastern, 2:44 Pacific. And we guarantee 5-to-1 odds on Exaggerator when you open a new account today and use the promo code Travers. That's right. Your first win bet up to $10 is eligible, plus a $100 deposit bonus when you make a deposit and bet that first deposit. We'll match it up to $100. And the wagering menu will not be outdone on a monstrous day such as this. A pick 6 that you do not want to miss. A pick 4 with a guarantee of $1 million starting in the 8th race. The late pick 4 as well starts in the race before the Travers. A $400,000 guaranteed pick 5, $250,000 in that pick 6 we mentioned. It is an outstanding wagering menu and outstanding racing for it to go through. The Sword Dancer, the Personal Lens and the Forego, the King's Bishop and the Ballerina, and the Boston Spa, the lone grade 2 of the graded stakes menu, 6 grade 1s and a grade 2. Any one of those races could stand alone and carry their own weekend of racing. But they've rearranged the stakes schedule in New York to bring you gigantic days such as this. And not to be outdone by any runner in the Travers, perhaps the easiest winner of the day will be Flincher, the most dominant horse in his division. As we take a look 1 to 5 on the morning line, you might not get that. He's trying to repeat in the Sword Dancer. He's been perfect in 2 starts this year stateside. He won the Manhattan and then came back with a win in the Bowling Green. It says 3/4 of a length in that Bowling Green. It's about as measured a 3/4 of length victory as you will ever see. Grand Tito, Twilight Eclipse, they were in there, but they never really had a chance. Watch the turn of foot late, and you can see Javier wearing the Juddmonte silks down the center of the track. He had his measure on these horses. He's going to look to the inside just with absolute disdain for the competition. Flincher has 0 worries at this point. Inside the 16th pole, he just flew by him like they were standing still. He is easily the most likely winner of the day. Here, look at some horses that have won back-to-back runnings of the Sword Dancer. Telling did it 2009 and 2010. Grand Courtier. With anticipation, that old Galloping Gray in 2001, 2002, El Señor, Majesty's Prince. Once again, Flincher, 1 to 5 in the Grade 1 Sword Dancer. I see no one in this field who could take Flincher on the square and hand him a defeat. Once again, Chad Brown, after winning his 1,000th career victory in a stakes race on the turf earlier in the week, has Flincher, the most dominant turf male in the country. But that's just a sample of the stakes racing action. The Boston Spa one that looks very enticing a stakes race as well, Maddie.
This time last year, she was the best turf filly in the country.
But they're all not going to get the undefeated Lady Eli. She crushed them.
Lady Eli is making her long-awaited return in the Boston Spa. But in her way is a filly who's looking to bounce back after a couple of lackluster performances.
Miss Temple City to take down the field and beat the boys in the Baker's 46-mile.
And the classy Sentiero Italia.
And Sentiero Italia comes back a winner.
The Grade 2 Boston Spa, Saturday at Saratoga.
Yeah, the race after the Travers, but it's all about Lady Eli. We've been anticipating her return for some time now. We haven't seen her in 14 months. Last time we saw her, she won the Belmont Oaks Invitational stylishly by 2 3/4 lengths. After that race, on her way back home, stepped on a nail, resulting in laminitis in both front feet. It was life-threatening for Lady Eli. So not only is it unbelievably great to see her back on the racetrack, just in good health alone, and from all reports, she's training extremely well. I have a pretty good source on the matter. My wife saw her train at Saratoga on the 7th of August at 1 1/5 bullet work. She worked in company with C. Khaleesi, maybe the best older female turf runner for Chad Brown, and they worked kind of in tandem. Lady Eli actually worked a little bit better. C. Khaleesi, a couple weeks later, went on to win the Beverly D, Grade 1 at Arlington. So, Book of Eli, Chad Brown trained winners, long last the last 5 years. He's done it before. I think he'll do it again. She's a fan favorite. She's undefeated, and it's great to see her for the first time since the 4th of July, 2015. Caton, some great other Grade 1 races, obviously, on Travers Day. The races that jumped out at me were the sprint races, the King's Bishop and the 4-Go. What about for you?
Well, it would be hard to pick a favorite. Certainly, Lady Eli will be a sentimental favorite among many, and amazing that she has made the recovery she has and can even return to the races, much less look as good as she did. She schooled earlier this week, by the way, in the Saratoga paddock, and could not look any better than she appeared here. No doubt she is 100% fit and ready. It's a question of how good she is at this stage of the game. And another filly who schooled earlier in the week was Miss Temple City, her old nemesis. She tackled and came out on the losing end of a battle with Lady Eli earlier in her career, but Miss Temple City's gone on to bigger and better things and is quite literally bigger to my eye. When I saw her schooling under the watchful eye of her trainer, Graham Motion, I remarked that she certainly didn't lose any weight for the shipping and the racing. He said, in fact, he thinks she maybe looks bigger now than she did before. She's the type of horse, a robust type that carries a lot of weight and certainly packs a punch. I think Miss Temple City could be the main threat, judging by appearances, to Lady Eli in the Boston Spa. But you're right about those sprint races, and in particular, a trainer with a vested interest across the board and across the day. Kieran McLaughlin has Mohayman running in the King's Bishop, turning back in distance. I spoke to him earlier in the week, and he remarked about kind of the experimental nature of this. He's fairly confident that Mohayman is the type of horse who can adapt and could be more proficient even at these shorter distances than he's been at the longer distances. He was perhaps a little less convincing about that argument going in reverse for Cavorting, who's going to stretch out around 2 turns in the personal ensign. She draws the outside of a compact field. But to my mind, with just 5 horses in the field, every horse can make a statement in that one. I think the personal ensign might be one of the toughest races on the card to try to sort out, and Cavorting just one of those questions as to how she'll handle 2 turns.
Cavorting does love Saratoga, and she is a star in the sport. How about you, Matt? We have great sequential wagering. The sprint races stand out to you. Where do you pare down? What races can you really zero in and have a strong opinion on?
Yeah, because Flincher's the obvious single, right? You have these giant fields, so even with the personal ensign being a field of 5, in the 7 stakes races we had, the 6 Grade 1s and the Boston Spa Grade 2, 69 horses scheduled to go in those 7 races, so we're still averaging a 10-horse field, even with that short field in the personal ensign. I think the King's Bishop is a really difficult race. I'm probably going to take a shot in that race. And the horse that really intrigues me at this point, haven't made the horse my selection yet, is Summer Revolution, who's really getting good right now, I think, for Rudy Rodriguez.
Caton, what say you? Where do you pare down in these sequential wagers? Where would you find that all-important single? And, of course, Flincher, the obvious one, but anyone outside of that?
No, Flincher is for sure the single, and I would say particularly in the all-stakes pick 4, if you're going to spread, the widest, believe it or not, is the 4-Go. No clear-cut favorite for me in that one. I'm going to use as many as 6 or 7 horses and then use that with the single to Flincher and perhaps pare down the Travers to about 3 or 4 key contenders, Connect being one of them.
Caton, thank you very much. We anticipate seeing your live coverage at Saratoga all day. Do you have a pick for the Travers? Are you sticking with gift box?
I think I'm probably going to go gift box. I think the price will be good enough. I like the running style. I like the way he's coming into this race. And Connect was a little better than him when they met a few weeks ago, but I think it was circumstance because of the way the pace played out. I think gift box will get a better setup on Saturday.
I see your gift box, and I raise you arrogant. However, you can double the odds on whoever you like in the Travers Stakes during that 1-hour happy hour that we're offering to you, the TVG account holder. That's right, your first win bet on your mobile device up to $10 qualifies to double your odds. The hours 12 to 1 Eastern and 9 to 10 Pacific. That's right, double your odds on the 147th running of the Travers Stakes. That's going to do it for our program today. Final thoughts on the day, Matthew?
Well, just in terms of that promo, there's horses that it makes sense, going to be 10 to 15 to 1. You double your odds on that, so you need to take advantage of it.
For Caton Bradart, Matt Carruthers, thank you for watching the Travers preview show here on TVG. Where do we work? TVG. And enjoy Travers Day, one of the best days of racing on the year from Saratoga. And you can watch and wager with us here on TVG and at TVG.com.
Bet anywhere with TVG.